Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Kumogami here. Welcome back to Path to Peaks YouTube channel. Always great to see new faces if you're new here, and if you've been here for a hot minute, welcome back. So Worlds just finished, World Championship 2022, and it was brought home by Andrzej Skubal, and it was really such an awesome match. Flying Pikachu Arceus, different variations, was top 3. The other 2 was from Japan, Daichi Shimada and Ryota Ishiyama, and all of them fantastic gaming. Was a great event. There was some really amazing clutch plays, and there was also some really not so great plays, such as bossing out the Duraludon and then bringing out your Radiant Charizard with a double turbo energy attached. Wasn't really that hot, but yeah, nonetheless, there was really interesting plays, great stuff, and also really interesting news. First and foremost, the announcement of Worlds 2023 is going back to its home in Japan. Yokohama, Japan to be exact. They haven't really given any specifications, but it will be in Yokohama, Japan. It gives a lot of people a reason to go because it's Pokemon and it's Japan. You know, like there's going to be amazing events going on. I'm pretty sure for the entire month coming into the Worlds, because you know Pokemon's IP in Japan is really massive. The scale of international probably doesn't even come close. It's a culture there. So yeah, super excited for that. It's also reasons for you to go visit my in-laws. But yes, that is one of the news that I want to touch base today. So the next thing we're going to look at is something super exciting for us Pokemon TCG players, as well as even the collectors. The introduction of the new standard, which is Scarlet and Violet. They even teased some cards, so we can even look at those. What is really relevant for me is the introduction of these letters. So small EX is something that has been because it came out during the early 2000s, Ruby and Sapphire era, and it's something that I've come across. You know, this was during my teen years, and it's just really wicked to see this come back. It's different from the large caps EX because the small EX you still had to run the evolution line to get to it, and then they were very game breaking at the time. So how they're going to keep it fresh for Scarlet and Violet, I just don't know, but it's going to be super exciting. If you guys are confusing about small caps EX and large cap EX came out around 10 years ago now, and it skipped evolution lines where small EX you really had to run that evolution line, so that's really cool. Let's go take a look at some of the cards that they showed to us. So we have Koraidon EX and Miraidon EX. The abilities are really cool. You have basically an energy filler with Koraidon's Dino Cry, and then you have a bench filler with Miraidon. Its tandem unit. That's really cool. Very versatile cards. I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing these in decks because it's just such a versatile thing. If you need the Pokemon setup, you have it. If you need the energy setup, you have it. So it's really strong in that sense. And then the other thing is these cards. Now, remember I was talking about small EX and having to go through evolution lines. I think this is it. They've teased it enough with the bottom part of Magnezone and then the Lucario's basically the top half, and Mimikyu's as well, but they really kind of like half teased it, but this is what it is. The biggest difference is the numbers, because we are in an era where the numbers are really high, and with the introductions of small EX you have to do that with this, so that's the reason why this is a thing. So yeah, I think it's really exciting. I'm super stoked to see what Scarlet and Violet has in store for us, especially with the reintroduction and I guess revitalization of this EX mechanic. There you go. Now for the main part of this video, we are going to look at deck lists we will or might see in Sword and Shield Lost Origin. We have this great advantage that we can see through the future thanks for Japan having a set ahead system, they will have 3 months to be able to finically and meticulously create a meta and really fine-tune it to the point where they will have a staple list or a skeleton list, and then everyone can build around that. And it is up to us when we get that set to either play the same thing and make it better, or make a new meta altogether, or just absolutely counter whatever is there. And that is kind of what always happens. And this is something really cool. So we're going to check out decks that have been solidified as good in Japan, and now we will be able to try it here. So if you've not done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like, comment, and hit the bell for that notification so you know when we're putting up new videos. Follow us on our social medias, Instagram and Twitter, and also at 9 p.m. Tuesdays Eastern Standard Time, we have our team talks and giveaways on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/teampathpeak. Hopefully you guys come out and join us. There's always giveaways. It's always a fun time. We talk about relevant things in the Pokemon TCG world, and it's just such a good time. Who doesn't like talking about Pokemon? So the deck list that we're going to be looking at was made in the Pokemon TCG website, the Japanese one, and they're all of course in Japanese, and I use them because they have the full set of cards for this set. And if you guys don't know what they do or what they say, just go ahead and comment below, or you know what, we have the internet, go ahead and check it out. I'm pretty sure great websites such as Poke Beach and Justin Basil's have it absolutely ready, so go ahead and check out their translations there. 100% you won't be disappointed. They're really atop of what they do. Their game is really good, and on top of that, the decks that you see here are not exactly what people play. It's a skeleton, and then you just basically build around, take things out, add things to your leisure and higher comfort level, and enjoy playing the deck the way you feel it fit. And with that, let's go check out these decks. So the first deck we're going to look at is the Origin Form Palkia V Star deck. A very consistent deck, very strong, and yes, you best believe you'll see it in the Lost Origin meta, since all the support cards that came from Astral Radiance is still be available now, and even the Sobble Drizzle line is still available until next year. Guaranteed we'll be seeing this deck a lot still until further notice, until something really kicks this out. But I'm not really sure I'll be seeing any deck that would really triumph this unless people start playing just a lot of electric type decks. But this is just a really cool deck. Now, why play this deck now if you haven't been playing it is because further down the road this is going to be a cheap deck to obtain. We will be getting a V Star special edition box with Origin Form Palkia, also Dialga if you're asking, but we're talking about Palkia. And that will make Origin Form Palkia V and V Star cheaper. And then on top of that, we have the Sobble Drizzle and line, which is usually very, very expensive. But thanks to Ice Rider Calyrex V Battle Box, it came with a 4422 line of the Sobble Drizzle and Teleon, and it was just such a fantastic way to get players to obtain these cards, because actually buying a 4422 line of the Sobble Drizzle and Teleon is almost the cost of that of the Ice Rider Calyrex box. So yes, very accessible to new players. Being able to play the best deck and being able to compete with confidence is something I think that the Pokemon International company wants to do, and they're doing a good job by doing that. Introduce new players, bigger fan base, more products and all that stuff. So just really, really good time to play Origin Form Palkia V Star. Since the introduction of the set Fusion Strike, Mew V Max has been terrorizing the meta, either consistently placing top or winning tournaments outright, with the ability to dish out high amounts of damage, evade your opponent's attacks, or even just dig through the deck to find that 1 or 2 cards that will create the game breaker. This deck does it. It is very good. It was in the top 8 in Worlds, played by Andre from Canada, and it's just such a fantastic deck altogether. Even as of recent, the AY, he finished in top 4 in our local store tournaments, a pretty big one that just happened on the weekend, and that is just really, really cool. It shows how consistently good this deck is, and just a very, very awesome deck to try. At the time, it was very expensive. It's really expensive when it first came out. We were talking close to 300 at the time, and that's pretty pricey for most Pokemon decks. But right now you can get it for like under maybe 150, 175 Canadian, so it's still pricey, but not as pricey as before. Go ahead and you should try this deck out if you have not tried it. In Pokemon Live, you can just craft it very easy, and I think you get it for free anyways. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong, but like you can try it out, and then if you like the way it plays, it's just a ball of fun. You won't be disappointed. Very good deck. It got me into Team Challengers. So the next deck we're going to look at is the Arceus V Star with the Inteleon line, a very, very strong, consistent deck since Brilliant Stars, and you bet you'll see it here in the Lost Origin meta. The deck itself, in Lost Origin, doesn't really get much of a tweak, but it does get cards that it needs. So one of the biggest issues of Arceus V Star is that it doesn't hit really hard, and you do end up putting double turbo energy in it, so it even hits lesser. But it still hits enough that you can two-shot Pokemons, and that's kind of a big thing. The question is, how do you keep it from getting knocked out? With the addition of Lake Aquity and Radiant Gardevoir, you can do that. You reduce, I think, 40 damage altogether, and that literally negates the Choice Belt if they are running it and you are just having a good time. With the introduction of Giratina V Star, you will want Ditto V Max, because Ditto V Max does have a 3 colorless attack called Max Transform, and what it does, you can copy any attack of your opponent's active Pokemon and do that damage. Now Giratina V Star is at 280 HP, and its Lost Impact attack is 280 damage. Really strong, and it's a Dragon type, so there's no weakness, no resistance, so you might, any number that matches damage to HP, you just take it. So with that being said, yeah, Arceus V Star is not crazily expensive, but it's still pricey in its range, and a very fun, consistent deck to try. I've been playing Arceus since Brilliant Stars came out. It's just a really good deck altogether, and I hope that you guys pick up the deck and play the cosmic god of what is Arceus V Star. The next deck we're going to look at is the Giratina V Star deck, the poster child of the Sword and Shield Lost Origin set. A very, very cool deck with the reintroduction of the Lost Zone mechanic. This deck is just super fun to look at, and it'll be super fun to play. There are different variations of the Giratina V Star with Leafeon V Star and even Arceus V Star. It does exist. Very good deck. So what Lost Zone is basically, it's the spot between out of play and discard, and you can only interact with Lost Zone stuff as long as the card that you play allows you to interact with it. The deck does hit pretty hard because Giratina is a hard hitter at 280 damage per swing. You do lose energy, but that doesn't matter because you have ways of getting them back. And with the introduction of other cards such as Colress's Experiment, and as well as Mirage Gate, Lost Vacuum, it's just going to be one of those things where playing into the Lost Zone really capitalizes your goal to do things. With all this, don't be shy to see what else combinations you can put together, because this is going to be very new for us when the set comes out, and I hope people take the time to digest what it can do and how strong it is, and be able to play out how you want to play it. I will personally be playing maybe the Arceus build with this, because it's just really quick to set up 3 energies into Giratina, and then Giratina hitting 380. Pretty strong, and I have a choice of either the auto knockout or the quick setup with Arceus V Star. And with that, I think Giratina is going to be one of those decks that we have to look out for, counter, and be able to make sure that it doesn't terrorize us as much. One of the biggest things is that it's a dragon type, so no weakness, no resistance. Whatever vanilla hits you can hit, that's all it'll take. And I personally will probably play heavy this during Lost Origin meta, and I hope you guys will give it a try. Really cool. The next deck we're going to look at is a really cool deck that I've been very excited about ever since they teased this card. This is the Hisuian Zoroart V Star deck. The deck is absolutely really cool, with a really cool idea of being able to deal more damage if your Pokemons are hurt. Now that's a really interesting thing, because you're trying your best not to make sure your Pokemon is hurt, but just a small damage here and there, and then Hisuian Zoroark V Star's Shredding Curse attack will be in full fruition. If all your Pokemons are damaged, then it will do 300 damage. If you guys don't know what I'm saying, basically the attack is 50 times damage, and it does 50 for each of your Pokemon to have any damage counters in it. So 50 times 6 is 300. That's 300 damage. And choice belt 330. You hit everything. Now, Hisuian Zoroark V Star has lots of tools to play with here in the Lost Origin set, such as the Gengar, which basically just, as long as it's in the discard pile, you can put it back into play, and I think you put 2 or 3 damage counters on it, and no evolution form, just from Gengar discard to bench, but it comes in with some damage. You have the damage pump, where you can take one Pokemon with damage, and then you can take up to 2 damage counters and place them onto your Pokemons any way you'd like. And that within itself is just really wicked, and it's just really awesome. There's lots of cool things. Even Gapejaw Bog is back because of being able to put down basic Pokemons from your hand, and then just damage going on to them. Lots of really cool things to try in this deck. I will be building this deck. It just looks like fun. It looks so much fun, and I think a lot of people are starting to see and move away from the Solventalian line, and actually Bidoof Bibarel is showing a lot of face in decks, because it is very consistent at the high draws, and one evolution into isn't so bad. So yes, Hisuian Zoroark V Star is a deck that I think people should look at, should play, and is going to be a blast to see on the tables. Yes. The next deck we're going to look at is the Bullet LTK deck, or Bullet Lost Zone Toolkit. Such a cool one-prizer deck. It utilizes the Lost Zone, and your hitters are Cramorant and Sableye. So that itself is very funny, very cute. But yes, it is very terrorizing with another one-prizer that does a lot of damage. Now, the idea of the deck is to utilize Lost Zone, because that's where they truly shine. Cramorant needs 4 cards in the Lost Zone in order for its attack to be absolutely free. So you're hitting 110 for free, no problem. And then with Sableye, you need 10, but if you get to that point, Sableye can place 12 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemons any way you like. Now, that actually bypasses Manaphy's ability. And that itself is just really strong, because then you have a bench shooter that's actually doing its job really well. So with that, it's just really cool, really awesome, and I think a lot of people might play into this, because I will. I'm really excited to play this deck, and I want to see how people react to this deck, and that's why I'm sharing it now, because I want other people to be able to experience the shenanigans of what this is. And I think a lot of people will play this deck as a one-prizer head scratcher, because it will and can actually end games really well, especially if your opponent is ahead, and then you have that Radiant Charizard in hand. Drop it, play 1 energy, you scoop up net, escape rope, anything, just knock the last thing out, and you're laughing. 250 damage is not a joke. And those are the decks that we think that Sword and Shield Lost Origin meta will be seeing. And I said, we don't know exactly for sure what decks will show, but this is like a taste of what we might see, since this is majority of Japan's top decks. There are a few that I didn't put in, such as the Kyurem, and as well as a different iteration of Arceus's that utilize some of the new cards, because they're not really on the high tier side, but they are there and they are relevant. Now, if you guys don't know, pre-releases start this weekend, the 27th, 28th, 26th, even and even later into the week. I'm unfortunately won't be able to do a lot of the pre-releases this time, but I will be doing one. This weekend is just happened to be very busy. If you guys are in Toronto, it's Fan Expo. I hope to guys, if you guys are there, shoot me a message on the chat, and we'll go have a. We can meet up, shake hands, and all that stuff, and formalities and all that good stuff. But yes, and then on September 9th, that's when the set will drop, and that doesn't mean it's tournament legal. Of course, in stores and stuff you can do whatever you want, but in tournament wise, you wait another 2 weeks. That means Baltimore regionals will not be playing in the Lost Origin meta, so if you're building your decks, try to make sure that you're still in the Lost Origin bubble. Sorry, Astral Radiance Pokemon Go bubble, and so when you get to Baltimore, you're not. Oh, I thought it was legal. No, but it's not. Yeah. So that's basically what it is. Now, recap. Worlds finished. It's Worlds 2023 is going to be in Yokohama, and Andrzej Skubal won with Flying Pikachu. Very, very cool. Very, very awesome. Congratulations to all the players who went to Worlds. Congratulations to the top 8 for being really awesome. And of course, congratulations to our top 3s, Ryota Ishiyama, Daichi Shimada, and as well as, again, number 1, Andrzej Skubal. So 100% congratulations to all of you. You guys did a really amazing job and really entertained us in the last weekend. With that being said, everything is done. I don't have anything else to say. Always dream big and always aim for the peaks. I'll see you guys around. Take care. Bye bye.